And good afternoon. That is a live look from our roof cam here at WNEP. You can see the snow coming down. Also the flags, you can see how they're whipping around because we're going to be dealing with a lot of wind here later this afternoon and this evening. And good afternoon. It's Chief Meteorologist Kurt Aaron in on this Saturday, right there with you. We're tracking this system. Now, on WNEP, just so you know, we're going to be doing live updates at the top of each hour, tell you where the storm is, how much snow we expect, if there's any change in that. And at the bottom of every hour, we're going to be on our social media platforms, just like what you're seeing here now. So make sure you join us. Put a little reminder in there, 1 o'clock on WNEP, and then 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, but also 1:30, 2:30 on our social media platforms like WNEP.com. All right, let's go back to the boards. And I'm doing it inside today so we can kind of, well, jump into the computer and give you an idea for what it is we're thinking. And the one nice thing about being on the social media, like we're not so constricted to time. So that's nice. All right, how much snow are we expecting? Still that general 4 to 8 for most of the area, except for you get over to parts of the Susquehanna Valley down into places like Selinsgrove, Lewisburg. Those are the areas that are going to see a little less snow, and then even less than that when you go more to the south. What does it look like in other parts of the area? Well, there's Wilkes-Barre. The good news is they treated the roads there. It's looking good. We've had in this backyard just over 5 inches of snow, and I'm expecting some more snow, especially over eastern Pennsylvania. I'll show you a few numbers here. And again, this is a compilation of the model. So for you folks in Williamsport, you look out your window, you're wondering, how much more snow am I going to get? Well, there's some numbers for you. You're looking at anywhere from an inch, the RPM, the Euro just under that, to as much as 2 inches of additional snow on top of what you've already gotten. In eastern Pennsylvania, one of the places that we're expecting, to get harder hit in that 4 to 8 inch range rather than the 2 to 5, which is out in central Pennsylvania. This is additional snowfall. So an additional 2 or 3 inches of snow on top of what you already have. And if you're like us here in the backyard, then we're right about 5 inches of snow. So that would put us at about 7 to 8 inches of snow in TOBYHANNA as well. So you'd be of just about the same frame as us as far as snowfall total. So there you go. That's what we're looking at. Poconos back up into eastern Pennsylvania, northern tier, and as I mentioned before, a little bit less to the south. All right, so that's the totals. Let's talk about where the storm is now. And the storm is actually moving its way to the northeast. There's a couple of areas to keep eye on as you're looking at this. One, I'm going to draw a line, this red line. That's the front that's moving through right now. And then you've got this X right here. This is the area of low pressure that's moving in this direction. So it's actually pulling away from us, and it's going to continue to do so. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this map. And as I mentioned before, that dry slot, if you were watching at the top of the hour on WNEP.com, immediately that jumps out to you and you'll look at the radar. So let's go to the now image. That's the latest image. And I'm just going to manually zoom in here. And you folks in the Poconos, you got a dry slot working up in here. So this is going to make a difference because it's going to impact some of those numbers. However, you folks in the northern tier, Storuca, Montrose, Pleasant Mount, that dry slot isn't there. It may try and work its way in a little bit later, but right now, negative. It is staying well to the south, and it's got some snow there for you. It's coming down at a pretty good clip, heavy at times. As a matter of fact, speaking of the northern tier, I'm going to go around here in just a second, but let me go back up here, and I can give you a live look as to what's happening. So that's Forest City right there, as you can see, Pleasant Mount. We do have a camera up there, so let me just jump over to that camera. That's the Wilkes-Barre camera. Let me switch the section here for the location, and boom, that's what it looks like right now in Forest City. So yeah, they've got a good 4, 5, 6 inches of snow on the ground, and it's coming down there as well. They're part of that 4 to 8 inch range that we're going to be dealing with. And then, so again, the dry slot over the Poconos, southern tier, there's Shamokin, Tower City, dealing with that. Also, we do have a camera there in Pottsville. Let's see. We've got some snow on the radar over Pottsville, so let's go ahead and I just got to switch a couple things around when we're live on TV. Normally when we go out in the backyard, we have all these presets done because the show is preset. We can't just kind of wing it. But when we're inside, we can wing it more, and that gives us the option to be much more flexible and move around. So if we go to the Pottsville camera, boom, right there. So there it is. And you can see that snow's coming down at a pretty good clip as well. The roads appear to be slushy, but certainly passable. So That is in our southern tier. There's Pottsville. You can see the snow over that in Mahanoy City. All right, let's go to our next part. The northern tier we talked about, the Wyoming Valley still coming down at a good clip. And then to the northwest, Wellsboro, Canton, Towanda. There's Dew Shore, LaPorte. Trout Run coming down at a pretty good clip there as well. And then Williamsport, Lock Haven, Lewisburg, Beaver Springs coming down there at a pretty good clip. And again, we have cameras out there as well, so just bear with me. I'm going to go back to this camera that we just adjusted for Pottsville, and you can get a good eye on what's happening in, let's go to South Williamsport. Oh, look at that. The lens is completely snow covered, so we can't see, but you have the idea now of what's going on. The other thing too, besides the snow, and if you missed it, again, a general recap, 4 to 8, 2 to 5, are what's going on with our winds. Look at these steady wind speeds right now. Look at Mount Pocono, 33 miles an hour. That's steady. 16 in Williamsport, 18 in Scranton, and the temperature has been plummeting ever since that front moved through. Our winds are now to the northwest, so as we moved into the overnight, we were still well above normal, and then sometime between 3 and say 5, boy, that front came in here, and what a change. So because of that, we're seeing temperatures already down into the mid-20s. But what you have to remember is with the wind speeds and the temperature dropping, wind chill values are actually right now in the single digits and lower teens. So it's very cold out there. You're going to want to bundle up. It's not just cold here. Those are actual air temperatures from the Great Lakes region all the way down. I mean, this system is going to impact all the way down into parts like Atlanta, Georgia, where they're going to get pushed down into the 20s and even some teens. Very, very, very cold for them this time of the year. For us, again, we're going to be looking at this system pulling away. I would say probably another couple of hours, and then the snow will taper off. So we'll continue to give you updates on that. Our weather headlines, if we were to look at it, the snow tapering off this afternoon. Again, a general 4 to 8. Central Pennsylvania, a little bit less. We showed you some of the models showing you, what they were predicting for additional snowfall. And again, out in Central Pennsylvania, it's a little less, but it's going to become windy tonight, and I'm concerned about some power outages. So we'll continue to monitor that. So we've been on here for almost 10 minutes. I'm going to jump off, bringing you updates. Come back in an hour. If things change, you'll be the first to know. If you're not familiar with doing things online and you want to see it on TV, join us on WNEP at the top of each hour between now and 3 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Those roads are a mess out there, the secondary roads. It's not the crew's faults. It's just that this is the biggest storm we've had so far this year. And we're looking at closing in on a half foot of snow. So that's a lot of snow to keep up with. So